Hey, everybody. Welcome to Midday Market. Excuse me. I know we're starting a couple of minutes early, but I'm seeing the people on Facebook show up, and I didn't want to lose you in waiting just for a couple of 2-3 minutes left. So we're just going to get ramped up a little bit before we get started at 12 o'clock. If you can hear me both on Facebook and YouTube, let me know that you can hear me. Preferably put in VV Nation and where you're tuning in from. Let me know that I am coming across loud and clear. So both on Facebook and on YouTube, I know we started just a couple minutes early, but I want to make sure that everyone can hear me thus far. So chime in both on Facebook and on YouTube to let me know that I am coming across loud and clear. I see Scott, Sandra, Colton on Facebook. I see Mona. Hi, Mona. Here on YouTube. Karen was here. I'm assuming Karen is still here. Karen said, "Are we live yet?" So let me know. Let me know that you're hearing me. VV Nation Temecula. Matthew is on Facebook in the NYC. That's where I was born and raised, in Brooklyn, New York, the real New York. Satishan in loud and clear as usual. Very good. Mona is from British Columbia. Mary is here, loud and clear. Reginald says, gotcha. Vaughn on Facebook says, from Vancouver, Canada. Sounds good. There you go. Joey did a good job today with the audio, because Joey's been off his game lately. I don't know what it is. Man, Raphael hears me. Yeah, from Calgary. Jay says, VV Nation is here for Glenn T and J-Rod. I know. And yeah, Joey, I don't know, man. What has been going on with Joey? I still love him, but man, he's just been off his game a little bit. So we're going to talk just a little bit for a couple of minutes before we get started. It's a lot to talk about. Twitter's on the move. We saw Elon Musk. Man, influencers can move stocks, can't they? Matthew says, yeah, Brooklyn, Flatbush, and British Columbia. How are you going to go from New York to British Columbia? You can't do that. How are you going to be? How are you going to be in Canada? How do you talk Canadian Brooklyn? How you doing, eh? Forget about it, eh? I think if you put two together, that's Brooklyn Canadian. That's Brookadian. Oh, I like that. That's a new Glennism. Brookadian. A Brooklyn Canadian. How about that, Matthew? Kok Wai Fong is here from on the Facebook, Brooklyn College. Oh, I got you, Matthew. I got you. Brenda is here on YouTube from Princeton, British Columbia. James is watching us here on the Facebook as well. Vaughn says that was funny. A Brookadian. I like that. We got to make that go viral, Joey. That's a Brooklyn Canadian, a Brookadian. I like that. I like that. All right, so we're 1 minute away. I think it's time for us to get started. What do you think, Joey?
Yeah, I think so.
All right, so welcome to Midday Market, folks. My name is Glenn Tompkins, Senior Instructor here from VectorVest on both our YouTube and Facebook channels. I'm glad that you guys are tuning in, taking time out of your day to spend with us, and I'm going to do the best that I can to make it well worth your time to be here for a little bit, to keep on top of what's going on in the market, and most of all, being able to keep you on top of what stocks to look at, what stocks to stay away from, and possibly introduce some stocks that you may not be aware of that you should be. Mukesh is here from Fort McMurray. I got a lot of people from Canada here today. I've got Stock Time here from Pittsburgh, and on the Facebook channel, James is here. All right, so I need you guys both to chime in, both on the Facebook side and the YouTube side, so we can have a good spirited conversation today about what's going on. And as I mentioned, Elon Musk and all of the things that he's doing, let me tell you something. All it takes is just a tweet from him, a twit from him. We need that link, Joey, that you just sent me.
Yeah, I think we should talk about that one.
Okay, well, I'll get that once we get rolling. All right. So Shay Rill put that together. Shay Rill is watching us from Facebook. Again, I'm trying to acknowledge as many people as I can as they come up in the room. So let's start off right here on our homepage of all of the stuff that's moving. Here's our traffic light into the market. A lot of yellow still there. What does that mean? It means, if nothing else, to still be cautious in the market. On a day when the market is going up, don't be afraid to take advantage of the market. Vaughn says Joey's mic has an echo. Is that because my speakers are too loud, Joey? Should I turn it down a little bit?
Yeah.
All right, I'll turn it down a little bit.
Popping up on your mic.
There you go. All right. So that should take care of the echo, hopefully. Keaton is here. VV Nation. Tarek is here from Fairfax, Virginia. David is here from Cumberland, Rhode Island. It's cold up in Rhode Island. Ooh-wee. It's good and cold. I don't want to be that. All right. So keeping all of that in mind, all of the major indices are up today. As you can see, the Dow, the NASDAQ, the S&P, and the VectorVest composite, not up by a ton, but moving higher nonetheless. If you are a VectorVest subscriber, we did the timing on Friday. Market still is in a bull market, and we have the ways to be able to let you know from a market timing perspective whether or not we're in a bull or a bear market, and we are still in a bull market. Clyde is here. Thank you for being here. We are still in a bull market nonetheless. Grady from Jacksonville, Florida. More Canadians. Tristan is here from Quebec as well. All right, so with all of that going on, we still know that there's things behind the scenes in the market. We know that there's a war in Ukraine that could be, turning, but I keep my eyes on what's going on in there. And if you stay with me to the end today, I put together a watch list of alternative to fossil fuels. And I think you're going to like what you see, but I'm going to put that towards the end of the presentation so that you can see what my ideas are on alternatives to fossil fuels that we have access to right now. I've got Rich here from Long Island, New York, from the island. How you doing? All right, so as we talk about what's going on, if you're brand new to the channel, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon so that you'll be alert to when new stuff like this comes out. Don't forget to like the commentary if you like it. If you like what you see here, hit the like button. On Facebook, hit the thumbs up or the hearts, whichever is good for you. I'd love to hear that, or whatever commentary you have as well. You know what else I'd like to do? I'd like to bring more people into the room, whether you're on Facebook or whether you're on YouTube. Invite people to the live stream that we got going on right now. Share that link. Joey will put the link in there. Take a second. If you're on Facebook, if you're on YouTube, if you're on whatever your social media is, share that link, share that link on your social media. Let's see if we can get more people in the room as we're doing this live. I think that, again, a lot of the stories that I have may pertain to a lot of people who are looking for opportunities to make money in the market. So do that for me real quick. Share that link. Joey put it up there in the chat for you. I think he's going to try to put it into the link on Facebook as well. Share that link. Let's get some people up into the room to take advantage of what you guys haven't the ability to take advantage of. So with that, let's talk about what's going on in the news today. Let's do that. Let's get into my news stories. Let's go change my boom. Here we go. Somebody just subscribed. There you go. Little Benzie? Is that what it said, Joey?
Lil Benzie.
Lil Benzie, yeah. How about Lil Benzie? If you got a big cousin, invite Big Benzie too. Invite Big Benzie. But thank you very much. Somebody else who was that? I can't read that.
Good mix.
See, there we go. I'm loving that. I love the support to the channel. Thank you very much for that. All right, so here we go. Stock market news, live update. Stocks mixed as EU, and this is important, as EU eyes more sanctions against Russia. Russia has been feeling the pain of the sanctions, and I think that it's something that's keeping China out of the mix in a big way, because I don't think China wants none of that smoke from sanctions. Sanctions are working on Russia, and it's going to cause some discord in Russia as more and more of their people, the oligarchs, are already feeling it, and they're getting pissed off about all of this. So man, the sanctions are really affecting. So EU is eyeing more sanctions. Now, the interesting part of this story is as they do that, they have more dependency on Russian oil than a lot of the other world does. So this is when I get towards the end of today's session, I'm going to show you how EU is taking advantage of alternative measures other than Russian oil. So you don't want to miss that. And I put up a nice little watch list of some of those stocks for you to keep in mind. Kevin says snowing in Michigan. This is why I love living in North Carolina. Talking about North Carolina, oh, sigh. I'm a Duke fan, so I'm sad today. Joey is a Carolina fan, and he's happy today. So all I can say is everybody in the room, pray for me. Pray for me. It was a great game, though. It was a great game. What's up with Elon staking Twitter? Thought he was going to start his own multimedia. Kevin, we'll talk about that. We will definitely talk about that. So this is one story in regards to what's going on with actually more sanctions against Russia, and I think that that's going to be big. And here's the story. Musk takes a 9% stake in Twitter to become the top shareholder. As you read into the story, Tesla Inc. top boss Elon revealed that 9.2 stake in Twitter worth about $3 billion. That's a lot of dough. That's a lot of dough, likely making him the biggest shareholder in the micro-blogging site and triggering more than a 20% rise in its shares. It's interesting how him or who's the guy in Dallas, Mark Cuban. It's funny how people who have a ton of money can say, wait to the day that I have a ton of money, Joe, and I'm going to say weed. And everybody's going to go buy weed stocks. I'm just going to tweet weed. How many of you would go buy marijuana stocks if I just tweeted weed on my Twitter account? I got somebody else, Tristan. I just subscribed to the channel. Thank you for that very much, Tristan. I want to know, how many of you, am I that big of an influencer that if I just tweeted weed, that you guys would just go buy marijuana stocks? I'm just curious to know. Inquiry minds want to know. All right. So, Musk has over 80 million followers, and that's when you got, I don't have 80 million followers, but when you got that many followers, that's enough. That's enough to move a stock. That definitely is. Maria on Facebook says she would. There you go. I like that, Maria. Nobody on YouTube said. Lee says no. That's an honest answer. Glenn says buy weed and marriage. And I do like MJNA. Believe you me, I still have an order in, but it's got to hit 3 cents before it does. It's got to have. Mona says no over here. No. Raphael says yes. Yes, Joey and you do a great job, so we listen. We'll see. Bruce, hi, Bruce, by the way. Bruce says not me in capital letters. So Bruce really doesn't care. That's all right. That's all right. That's all right. All right. So that's what's moving Twitter today. And somebody said, I thought he was going to do his own Twitterverse type of deal. Listen, he's got his hands in a lot of things. You know how much money it would take? And I don't even know if he's putting real resources behind trying to bring up his own social platform. So why not support one that's out there? I guy buy weed. It's, oh, Lord, Kevin, I'm not trying to say, oh, Lord. All right. So now what else is going on? Crude oil is higher on talk of further Russian sanctions. Oil is going to still get hit, and oil has been still one of the best places to have money. It's pulled back recently because oil has fallen. All right, it's pulled back recently, but it looks like as you talk about more sanctions, Russia said, fine, if you're going to put sanctions on our oil, you're going to need to pay for it in rubles. And I'm thinking people are going, no. This is what they said. They said, what? Yeah, no, we're not going to do that. So, again, the sanctions are working. The sanctions are working. Or how about this? The sanctions are affecting Russia in a bad way. So now when we look at oil going higher, how about this story? Exxon signals record quarterly profit from oil and gas prices. Well, you would think the big major ones, Exxon and Chevron, all would be making money as oil prices go up. Now, as they went down, you notice that we didn't see a big move to the downside in gas prices. Well, this is America. This is all called capitalism. And you know something? They're going to make money. Whatever Glenn text, I buy. Mike must follow me on my Twitter account. If you want to follow me on Twitter, if you haven't already, go search for @Glenn Tompkins Jr. I tweet a lot of stuff that's going on in the day, throughout the day, even if we don't talk about it here on VectorVest. So if you do want to follow me on Twitter, it's @Glenn Tompkins Jr. Or if you want to follow me on Instagram, it's the same thing, @Glenn Tompkins Jr. And I put a lot of stuff out there. All right. I put a lot of stuff out there. I like Laura says, I'd consider it. All right. That's better than Bruce's no. But Laura says, at least I would consider it. That makes me feel good. Pot stocks will go up this December after the other half of the country will pass medical. Kevin, I am not so sure about that. I know that there's a bill on the floor in the House about decriminalizing marijuana. It's going to have a hard time going through the Senate. So even if it does pop off on the House side, I don't know if the Senate will put it through. So I still think that the anticipation, you remember the commercial? Anticipation, the Heinz commercial? It's all about the anticipation. And I think in lieu of that, marijuana stocks will move. But if the bill gets struck down in the Senate, pot stocks are going to get smashed. All right, so I'm just preparing you for that. Are you thinking the webcast Money Making Monday for Canadian subscribers? Joey, that's something to think about. That's something to think about, Joey. Money Making Monday, but then I'd have to do 2 separate webcasts. What I am thinking that we need to do on Mondays is because we do have a lot of Canadian subscribers. I wouldn't mind every so often doing a Canadian. Thank you, Tony, for following me on Twitter. I don't think that it's a bad idea every so often to put a Canadian midday market. What do you think, Joey? What do you think? I think maybe once a month we can.
We've talked about it in our meeting before, but nobody else is really on board with it.
Yeah, it's an idea that you guys are bringing up, but the team here has to be on board with that. So it's not just me. Even though I'm the boss of all of them, thank you, Sharon, for following me on Twitter. Even though I'm the boss of all of them, nobody listens to me. I'm the boss of all of them in my own mind. I have an awesome team, though. I've got an awesome team. All right, this is another big story. Hertz to buy up to 65,000 electric vehicles. This is the second big electric vehicle buy that Hertz put up. Nikki, thank you, Nikki, for following me on Twitter as well. This is the second. So the rental car companies are getting on board with the electric vehicles. Bangsberg Mary now is following me as well. The interesting thing about this is there's a lot of people in the room who still think that buying electric is far off because they don't think that it's going to overcome the combustion vehicles. I don't disagree with that, but I do know that there's heightened interest in the electric vehicles. That's the reason I've put out the videos on the YouTube channel about electric vehicles. The infrastructure being set up for electrical charging. I recently did a story on some of the best EVs to look at. I then did another story on the comparison of maintenance between electric vehicles and combustion vehicles. So I've been doing a lot of input, a lot of research on this space, and I still think that it's a good space to be in. Will it overcome engines? I think that's got a long ways to go before that happens. But you know something? If it gives you an opportunity to make money on these stocks, that's what I'm all about. All right. Kevin, I'm not going down that aisle. And I am a Christian. All right. And if from an ethical standpoint, if you're not comfortable with marijuana stocks being decriminalized, then you don't play that space. All right. But keep in mind, at some point in time, alcohol had to be decriminalized. Cigarettes had to be decriminalized, from the standpoint of that. But you're looking at an actual drug in this case. And if you're not on board with that, I am not trying to tell you to go and buy into a marijuana stock. My job here is to help you guys make money and tell you where the possibilities are to make money. So, Kevin, I totally agree with you. I agree with you. And if this is not your bag, then don't play it, man. And I'm with that for everybody out there. Everybody's got the way that they feel, what they believe in the whole 9 yards. You got to play what you feel is morally right for you or not. Do you have to charge an EV before returning the Hertz? We have to gas up to be or charge insane prices? That's a good question, and I don't know what the contract says. What the contract says about returning the EV. So, that's a good question that I don't have a full answer for. All right, so
we need to get Hertz on the phone.
We need to get Hertz on. I would love to. I'd love to talk to Hertz and be, pot is bad for your heart and lungs. And again, folks, if that whole decriminalization thing is not for you, then by all means, there's a lot of other places to make money in the market. All right, man, I just missed some profits in closing my position on EVGO. Maria, I did. And that was a good stock from a charging perspective. It's a great up and coming charging stock. I put that in my video. If you guys have not checked out a lot of the other videos that Patrick and myself do on this channel, please do. We talk a lot about a lot of pertinent topics affecting the market that you guys should know about. All right, so let's go now. Hertz from Polestar. So I said, wait a minute. I know Polestar. You can't buy Polestar yet, right? So if Hertz is doing that through Polestar, why am I talking about it? Because Polestar, where is it at? Hertz says Polestar cars would be available from spring in Europe, blah, 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 blah. That's not what I'm looking for. There it is. Polestar, which is yet to go public. Thank you, Tommy, for following me on Twitter. In the United States, it's set to merge with a SPAC, kohrs Guggenheim Incorporated, this year. Now, why is that important? Because as Polestar, this now shows that Polestar has got orders in. And that's a good thing to help to drive the stock's price higher. It's not in yet. It's not being traded yet, but Polestar is something you guys need to keep your eyes on. That's the reason why I bring the story to your attention. All right. So they got an order in right now from Hertz for 65,000 cars. Now, the other side of that is, are they going to be able to provide the inventory for these cars? For every one of these EV companies, my biggest takeaway from all of these companies is, are they making the cars? Are they being able to keep up with delivery? And are they making money? All right, those are the two. The news is one thing, but those are the two basic things that need to happen in order for those companies to be successful. Are they being able to deliver the cars, and are they making money? All right, so now talking more about electric cars, how about, here's a story. AMC, EV makers Lucid and Rivian top the most crowded shorts list. And this is an ongoing issue with retail investors against big hedge funds. All right. And AMC is on the move. GME is on the move as well. Both of them pulled back a little bit today. But these are the two most biggest shorted meme stocks that are out there. And everybody, Satish, thank you for following me on YouTube. On Twitter. A lot of these companies are waiting for the big squeeze to happen. I'm back in both AMC and GME. I timed them both. I am not one of those diamond hand people. I'm not going to be afraid to say it. All right. I'm not going to be afraid to say it. I am not a diamond hands dude. I'm all about being able to make money. I'm about all make money and get out of it. Shay says on Facebook, AMC holding. I'm with you. I hear you. But my job still, I'm trying to teach you how to make money. And sometimes you got to, where's the song? How does the song go? Sometimes, Shay, you got to know when to hold them, know when to fold them. Know when to walk away and know when to run. Never count your money while you're sitting at the table. There'll be time enough for counting when the dealing's done. That was the Southern coming out of me. So I'm all about, let me make money on these opportunities when the news is pushing them. and let me get out and then wait for another opportunity to get back in. So what is this talk of a crash? I ain't said nothing about a crash. Jody, you ain't heard me say nothing about a crash just as of yet. I don't see it happening yet. Hi, Mr. Glenn. Is short-term investment tax something to always be worried about? Tony, absolutely. Short-term gains tax is what it is. You're going to pay a lot of money on those short-term gains. And what a lot of people do is they try to find the stocks to invest in longer term, or if you're going to get hit with the short-term gains, hopefully you get, a really good stock that makes you a lot of money, that makes it worth the payment. If, for the lack of a better way of putting it, I think that's the better way to go. So my next story, Russia's aggression prompts calls to rethink U.S. uranium imports. So now, what did I say? I wanted to talk to you about a couple of different options for alternative fuels that the EU is going to be looking at. Why uranium? Why? Because a lot of people are looking at clean energy, but from the fact of nuclear power plants. I looked earlier this year. I did a story on uranium. I looked earlier this year. There was like 51 or 52 nuclear power plants either already in process or planning to be built. That is a great way to make clean energy. All right, we always talking about RPG. Thank you for following me on Twitter. We always talk about solar, and we talk about wind, and we talk about all of those things. I think one of the best ways to have clean energy is nuclear power plants. Now, the other side of that is that they could be dangerous if something bad happens. That's the big downside of it. But when's the last time I've known two big ones that have happened? 3 Mile Island in New York, and of course, Chernobyl. All right, those are the two main mishaps that have happened in a nuclear power plant. It doesn't seem like this happens all the time, and I think that it still is a great way to produce clean energy. James says, can we completely change the downward spirals of the agenda we are being forced to accept? VV Steve Chappell is right about investing in the coal industry and saving the cost effective option. Now, let me tell you something. Where does the majority of our energy come from? It does still come from coal, right? Which is the unclean way. But there's no getting around it. That's where it comes from. So when I say alternatives, uranium is one and LNG is another one. Those are two other ways to get outside of fossil fuels. Now, there's going to be many in here that says, well, if we just drill our own oil here on site here in the United States, we can become energy dependent from everybody else from an oil perspective. Absolutely. I'm with that as well. But what about being able to make some clean energy? We can take the lead on that as well. We export more natural gas than anybody. All right. Uranium, we still have to pull that in, but do we aggressively go after that space as well to get more towards the clean energy? Whichever way we go, whether it's still using coal or whether alternatives, I think the overall goal is still to lessen our carbon footprint on the planet. All right. Does that mean I'm all about the green? Listen, no, I'm all about whatever makes us money. That's what I'm all about. I'm all about whatever makes us money. Would I like to see less carbon and all the crap in the air? Absolutely. But I still want to make sure that we're taking care of what we need to take care of, and that's to produce energy. All right, so I'm putting all of that together. And all I'm doing here is opening your eyes to alternatives. And EU is looking at a lot of these alternatives, especially LNG. And I just did a story not too long ago in regards to the LNG space. I think it's a hot space in order to make money. But now, with the pickup of more demand coming from the EU, are we now going to still be able to keep up with that demand? All right, so I'm all on board with liquid natural gas as well as uranium for the nuclear power plant. So I'm putting all of this together. Paul says, also Fukushima nuclear disaster in Japan 2011. I forgot about that. Air, coal and natural gas are also fossil fuels. They are, but natural gas is a cleaner way of going, right? It is. Is that not, Boston? All right, I'll put that out there. All right, is that not? Canadian data is a back for VV software. Thank you for that, Michael. How many private jets at the climate conference? Probably a lot. Probably a lot. All right, so that's all my goal. My goal was just to put that out there. Mike Ray says, Mike, I'm with you. What did Mike say here? Mike must have been Mike on YouTube. All right, so I'm watching both chats. I'm watching both texts. How will the electrical grid handle? All right, so there it is. Somebody said that was, there it is. Mike says, how will the electrical grid handle crypto farms? Going all electric cars, natural gas no longer allowed in new buildings. So in my LNG story, I did talk about LNG being used to help with the energy going towards some of that energy going towards crypto to help them as well. I did talk about that. James says France has proven nuclear power plants can be implemented safer with upgraded unified standards. So when is Rivian going to start delivering? That's another whole story in itself. Remember, when I'm talking about those types of companies, let me get to the software. When I start talking about those types of companies, the EV space, I'm telling you, it's going to be all about their ability to deliver cars and are they making money. Let's go look at my stocks that I have for the big news. It's a myriad of different stocks. Natural gas, ExxonMobil was in there. I've got an ETF for uranium up here for you guys to take a look at. I've got two. There's the Hertz story. There's Twitter. There's oil, since it's starting to rise again. And there's AMC, Lucid, and Rivian. All right, so these are all of the stocks that make up my main stories. I'm going to sort this by percentage price change to see what stocks are moving up the most. All right, Twitter on the big news is moving up. Hertz is moving up. Oil, and there's Lucid moving up. Rivian is moving up today, up about 1.25%. Gas is slightly up today, but here's my uranium, oil, and AMC towards the bottom of the list. Let's go take a look at these four stocks. So these all made the news today. Let's go sort this by my fourth thingy, and let's go see what's rocking. What would we take advantage of today? All right, let's take a look at it from that perspective. Twitter, look at that big jump up this morning. Again, Elon Musk tweeted. I'm waiting for all of these to cop. There they are. All right, let me move this over. That's a big gap up. Put me on the quad thingy. That's a big gap up on Twitter. It's moved up, not a lot from the morning open, but steadily trying to move higher. Hertz has got a nice big move up this morning. I don't think, did it gap up? I'm sure it did. It gapped up as well, but look at, that one has got a steadier move to the upside rather than Twitter ran and then just went sideways. Hertz looks like it's getting ready to start back up again. I'd look at putting in an order 12 cents higher than the high, 24.34.36, about $23.26. 36 cents. Yeah, $23.36. I like the move. I like the steady move. It's leveling out right now, but let's see if we can take that out. Volume is leveling out. RT is above 1. I like it. Lucid ran up this morning, pulling back. It's got two levels. It's got a level of support sitting at 25.18 and a level of resistance at 25.43. Pulled down and broke below that level of support. I am looking at intraday 5-minute bars. Nice open bar right here. I'd like to see if the 3-minute can cross back up. Oil is bouncing all over the place. Gapped up this morning with higher oil prices. Pulled back from the high that occurred at 11.25 this morning. Pulling back down right now. So if I'm looking at any of these, Hertz I like. Hertz I like intraday. I like the news about the 65,000 cars put in with Polestar. Let's go put this on a 3-month graph. It's been leveling out, but big news today. Nice open candle. Let's see if it can break through this level of 23.59. It does have room up to this high, sitting at the value of about a high of 25.25. This is on a 3-month graph. Watch earnings per share, though. Earnings per share over the last 3 months is falling. I just put this on a 1 day. It's falling, but let's go look at what relative value. Relative value says that Hertz should outperform a AAA corporate bond by 31% over the next 1 to 3 years. Let's go put this back on the 5-minute bars. So based on the news, on the stories, I do like Hertz. I like that Lucid's starting to move. I'd like to see it take out that level of resistance. Twitter's just still meandering along, and oil is just bouncing all over the place. All right, so those are my stocks on the stories. Let's get back into my watch list of stocks. All right, so we had 10 stocks from that. From those different stories. I looked at the 4 fastest moving ones, but I've got some other stocks for you to keep your eyes on based upon the stories that we heard about today. Let's look at the indices. What are the indices doing? Well, look at that. The Russell 2000 is slightly up. Look at that. UVixy is down. That's the short for the VIX. The VIX is down today. So that means there's less fear in the market. And look at that. For the first time in a long time, the VIX is below the value of 20. So as the market is starting to do a little bit of a push back up, there's a little less volatility in the market. And that should bode well for a little bit more of a bullish run in the market. All right, so we'll keep our eyes on that. Let's go back to the graphs and let's go look at our main indices, all of them. Here's the Dow. As I look, let's go put me back on the quad thingy. Look at the spiders moving. Look at the nice move on the spiders, steadily moving higher today, right at the level of resistance sitting at 455.71. Remember, all of the major indices are up today. I do like the move. The VectorVest composite is moving up today. The Qs is moving up. Everything is moving up today, but the Dow had a little bit of jagosity going on, up and down, up and down. And I'm just keeping my eyes on it. This is intraday 5-minute bars, folks, as it's going on today. You're watching this live, and the market still looks like it wants to push higher today. That's all right. The market still looks like it wants to push higher today, but just be careful because our color guard still has a lot more yellow in it than anything. If the day gives you if the market gives you a day like today to run up, take the money. Take the money, go run with it, but put tighter stops on the stocks as you're managing your stocks. All right, let's get back to, man, what did I just do? I just ran all over the place. All right, let's get back to the viewers tab. Let's go to earnings this week. Now, earnings for the next quarter just starts today. I didn't find a lot of stocks reporting between today and Friday that I knew. Remember, this is just the beginning. Second quarter earnings. So it always does. It always starts off slow, but then as we get into the second month of the 3 months, 3, 6, 9, yeah. As we get into the second month of the 3 months, that's when it really starts picking up. These are the only big name stocks that I knew. APOG, Tilray, a weed company. What did I say? If I tweeted weed, would y'all go buy weed stocks? And Jagosity. Jagosity is a Glenism. Welcome to the world of Glenisms, James. That was a Glenism. Jagosity just means the art of moving up and down. Jagged, like a shark's tooth. Jagged like a shark's tooth. And Jim says volume is suspect. If we go back to the graphs, all of the volumes are like, All right. Shay put a smiley face. That's what Jagosity is. How about buying it right now above 316 high of 2360? What are you talking about, Beaver? Which stock of 2360? Which stock are you talking about, my friend? And you know something? I'm not all against that. 2 things that I look for before I'm ready to buy a stock. You'll notice that I use the 3 and 8 exponential moving averages, and I do use support and resistance. If I've got a combination of the 2, the 3 is crossed above the 8, and we've got a breakage above resistance, that is a good combination. That's a good recipe of a stock to get into. Does that make sense, Beaver Tail? Hopefully that makes sense. All right, let's go back to the viewers. These are the only stocks that I could picture that had halfway decent names that I knew about. All right, Joey, you're liking, there you go, Joey. Okay. Let's go take a look. I got a lot more people talking on Facebook today. I do. Glenn is watching on Facebook, but he's got Glenn with 1 N. Oh, man. Glenn has got to be with two N's. Glenn has got to be with, I'm only messing, Glenn. I will only buy weed stocks if Glenn smokes marijuana on this platform and shouts, ooh-wee. You trying to get me kicked, John, you trying to get me kicked off of Facebook, of YouTube? Joey would love that, but Joey be like, yeah, that's my boy. No more working in VectorVest, but that's my boy. That's what Joey, right, Joey?
You've been smoking in there before?
No, what? Why are you telling people that?
Sorry.
That's wrong. You shouldn't be telling people that.
My bad.
Wow. Let's take a look at these four stocks for earnings coming up this week. Sigh. That would be bold as heck, says Maria. Absolutely. I'm not doing that. Stop touching. I need this.
All right.
Let me highlight these four. Let's go take a look at these. View the stock graph. Again, not a whole lot going on from an earnings perspective of stocks that I do know. APOG, building products. I'm not feeling the volume on that today, intraday, but price action shows that it is moving higher. I would like to see if we could break above that level of high. Look at Tilray. Look at Tilray. Look at that. I'm telling you, weed stocks on move. Weed stocks on move because of the anticipation of the bill on the floor. All right, on the House. And again, I still think that it's going to have a tough time passing through the Senate. But look at the move. Look at Mind. Petroleum stocks are moving. I'm really not feeling the volume on this. The volume is really void. Null and void. Gold is taking a little bit of a hit today. Here's Nova Gold reports this week as well on today's activity pulling lower. All right, so those are my earnings plays. Fastest sectors. Let's go see what's moving up over the last 2 days. Let's go see what's moving up over, the last 10 days, the last 2 weeks. I normally run a search in the Delta Searches sectors. Let's go see what sectors are moving up over the last 10 days by relative timing. See what's on the move. What's on the move, baby? All right, internet sector is up. Drug, software, healthcare, auto, truck. That is our EVs. EVs are still moving. Let's see what's moving up the most today out of these. Looks like it would be internet. 2.79% today. Look at that. Let's right click. Let's view the stocks in that sector. Let's go see what the stocks are. Let's go see if I can find you some stocks to take a look at. I'm going to look at the top 5 stocks in that sector. And let's go see what's in there. Google, Zynga. Didn't they get bought? I thought Zynga got bought. ATER and Meta, Facebook. All of them. Look at that. ATER. That's a CEO thing, I believe. Right-click, view the stock news. I think that they got a new CEO. I think that that's what that is. 60%, 2 months, press release. There it is. I thought it was 3 days ago. Tyrion adds seasoned industry executive to his board of directors. I'm sitting there and I'm like, is that enough to make the stock move up 60%? I don't know. You were talking about Hertz. All right, I'll take a look at Hertz. About 2360, I'll take a look at Hertz. But Hertz on that news, that's a big news on Hertz to get that they're buying those cars from Polestar. And if it did go above the value of 2360 at the high, I'm looking at 12 cents higher than that. I'm looking at 12 cents higher than that. Why? Because I always want to put a buy stop order at least 5 to 12 cents higher than the high. All right, let's go take a look at, there's 216 stocks in this. All right, this is sorted by VST. For purposes of investing today, let's sort all 216 stocks by percent price change and see, look at this. Now you're going to see stocks that you may not know of. There's Twitter, there's TCAT, there's Ding Dong. I hate saying that. Jumaya, we do know about Jumaya. Look at these stocks moving in this sector today. Let's look at the top 4. I hate saying that. Let's go take a look at the top 4. And let's go see if there's any buying opportunities today. All right. This sector has gone up over 30% in the last 2 weeks or 10 days. And these are the stocks that are pushing this sector high, right? So that's a good place to find some stocks. Will says, what's up, Glenn? How are you, my man? Thanks for the updates. You are so welcome, my friend. And, you know, I love doing this stuff. And I think starting Wednesday, I got a little surprise for you on Midday Market. I believe this Wednesday we got a little surprise for you. All right. Here's that ATER, the addition of, and again, that was 3 days ago, that addition of the person to the board of directors. Stocks prices moving up, found a level of support today, sitting in a little bit of channel. If you want an opportunity to get in, I'd look at 5 cents higher than the high. DDL, look at the steady move up. Now recently finding a little level of resistance, pulling back. The 3 and the 8 are still holding. Let's say you're in this from a trade today. It's only $4.87. If the 3 were to cross below the 8, that would be a good time to get out of that stock from a day trade perspective. We already looked at Twitter. Jumaya gapped up this morning, leveling out as well. I'd look at 5 cents higher than the high, 12.53. I'd be looking about getting in at 12.58. The stock is leveled out. Volume is steadying out. That makes sense as the stock is moving sideways. Morley, welcome from Vancouver Island, British Columbia. So, in a sector that's really starting to rock and roll. It's not one of the best sectors. As a matter of fact, out of 41 sectors, internet ranks 34th. But what I was looking at is over the last 2 weeks, the last 2 trading weeks, this sector, how come it didn't show me? The sector is up nicely. I think it was over 30%. There it is, 30.88%. And that's the kind of analysis that you can do here in the VectorVest software. All right, one thing that we don't ever do here is we don't ever try to sell you anything, but I will say, oops, that's not what I wanted. I will say that if you want to take advantage of the analysis that we have, 99 cents gets you access to this kind of analysis. 99 cents for 30 days. I'd love for, if you're not a subscriber to the VectorVest software, to take advantage of it. Take advantage of it. You can get this kind of analysis. I'm not doing anything that you can't do as a VectorVest subscriber to the software. 99 cents. And if you continue to like it after the 30 days and you want just the mobile version of the software, we can get it to you as low as $4.95 a month. Now, if you want more like the desktop version, then we've got access to end of day, intraday, and real time. All right, so all of that is there for you as well. And one other thing, since I'm on this screen, we have a webcast coming up. Oh, I put in the wrong thing. Let's go to the web stories. Oh, wrong one. That's not the one. How come it's not showing it to me? What did I do wrong, Joey?
You got it right here. Just drag it over there.
Just drag it over to here?
Drag it to, no.
Up there?
To wherever you have the program.
Huh?
To wherever you have the program.
Oh, I knew that. So I knew that. We've got a webcast coming up, a couple of them this week on Wednesday and Thursday, how to master moving averages. You see here that I utilize the 3 and the 8 exponential moving averages. If you want to learn more about a lot of different uses for moving averages in the VectorVest software, Wednesday at 12 and 4:30 and Thursday at 12 and 6, you can take a look at a free webcast on any one of those days. Joey put the link in there for you as well.
Yeah, drag it back over here for me now.
Drag it back over there. All right. Here?
Yep.
All right.
Oh.
What did you do? Stop touching stuff. All right, I got to click on it first. And now let's put it back up. There you go. Now you got it. All right. So with all of that, what else is going on? NEO is moving as well. MJNA has a new CEO, Glenn. Maria, let me know. That is a stock. That's a way speculative stock that I've made a lot of money on. And I'm gonna put it up. What did you just do? Oh, you have it? Okay. Go ahead. What did I do?
I have no idea, Glenn.
Holy smokes. That's not good. You got to tell me that you're getting ready to do that. Joey and I fight over the mouse through every presentation. Can I use it yet?
Flying back to people.
Sigh.
I don't know. All right, go ahead.
All right. So MJNA is a super speculative stock. Super. And I've got in a buy order at 3 cents. How speculative is this? Put it on a 6-month graph. This stock took off like nobody's business somewhere back here. Was it back there? Has it been that much? Has it been that long? Oh, it was back here. I did videos on it. I've got all kinds of notes. When the stock went from a price Let me zoom in here. When the stock's price went, let's say the 3.8 crossed, the stock's price was at 4 cents. It went up to a high of like 22. I made a lot of money right here. A lot of money. It is a super speculative stock. I like it, just not now. I like it, and just not now. All right, so that's why I'm putting that out there. I'm not telling anybody in this room to go buy it, but when it moves, when it does have it, it's a cheap stock. When it moves, it moves. When it moves, I move, just like that. When you move, I move, just like that. And yo, DJ, play that back. Big pullback a big pullback today, but the 3 and the 8 are positive on it. I'd like to see it take out that value of 3 cents, though. I got to order in for that. Joey put the link into both Facebook and on YouTube. So I'm just telling you, when it moves, it can move just like that. All right. Let me go back into my viewers tab. What else I got going on? Industry ETFs. So I always, I'm using index ETFs across the board. Always, to cover everything that's out there to see where the money's going today. Let's sort this by percentage price change. This is a watch list that I've created just to cover all the spectrum, and this will continue to grow to cover the full spectrum of what's out there. So communication services is up 2.64. Oil, Brent oil is up. The Qs are up today. Spider Trust, natural gas is up today. Gold is the laggard of all of the leaders, but up about 0.5%. Where's the money not going? Into utilities, the miners, real estate, energy, healthcare, consumer staples, financials. Gaming ETFs I found this week, Bets and Hero. Maria, I've done not ETFs. I've talked about them on both Trending Thursday and Midday Market, especially when the Super Bowl came around, that those stocks should have been taken off. All right, so listen, this is why I have a Twitter account. This is why I have an Instagram account, so that a lot of stuff that we don't always have the time to talk about here on the live streams, I keep you guys abreast of what's going on, a lot of different things. And for all those people who followed me today on Twitter, I thank you for that. I totally thank you for that. Why are you rubbing your around there? So are you trying to catch my attention for something? Joey? Yeah. Then stop moving your mouth side to side on stuff, because it makes me look.
I didn't move it side to side.
Side.
Don't tell me what to do. You're not my boss.
I'm the boss of you.
You're not my boss.
I'm the boss of you.
Get back to work.
Joey and I fight like if we're really related, because I think deep down inside we really are related. Let's take a look at the top 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's go see. No, I don't need to do that here. Here is just an idea of seeing where the money's going today. Speculative plays. How many of you pay attention to the speculative plays? I ask this every week. Type a 1 in the room. If you are either on Facebook or on YouTube, how many of you keep your eyes on the speculative plays that I give you? Type a 1 in the room. Type a 2 if you don't. All right, that's both on Facebook and on YouTube. James says, Glenn, what strategies did you use for that medical marijuana low price stock? What I did, James, is I looked at all of the stocks in that space before that move, and I looked at the 3 and the 8s, which stocks had the 3-8 move. That's what I did. So I created a search. There's a search I have in here for you that I've created. Where's my Unisearch tool? There it is. And Trending Thursday, I do have, YouTube. I do have a 3-8 search that I can use. I've made a lot of searches for the YouTube channel. I don't use them all, but I got metaverse stocks, momentum. I got a lot of different searches specifically for the YouTube channel. All right, a lot of people do pay attention. All right, so good. Let's talk about what they saw. I created one for this week, but I always want to try to see how well the ones that I gave you from the previous week worked. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't, but I'm not going to be afraid to show it. When was the last time we did one? It was last Wednesday, right, Joey? Was it the 30th? Yeah, let's go to the 30th. So these were the stocks that I gave you last week, right? Let's do a quick test. Let's see how well they work. They were down 2%. Ooh. But did you have opportunities to find stocks that did make money? GVP made money. I hate this stock. I hate the name of it. But a couple of these didn't work out. And I personally am investing in HYMC. I personally hold that. ONCS is down almost 15%. These stocks went down more than the market did. But from a cherry pick perspective, there was at least one that you had an opportunity to make money on. The reason why I bring these stocks to your attention is for stocks to keep your eyes on. All right. Never will I ever tell you to ever go out and just buy all of these stocks. They are speculative plays. They are speculative plays. So my new plays that I have for you this week were none. Interesting. I missed doing that. Sigh. So guess what? I'm going to take you through how I go and find these stocks for you. How about that? All right, I'm going to take you through how I find these stocks for speculative plays. How many of you are good with that? Oh, so now you get a treat. I didn't create one today, so I'm going to take you through the process. I'm going to do the unit search tool, and this is where I will use the searches that I've created within the YouTube channel for you. All right. So I've got a search that I've created for all those people who have YouTube, to have VectorVest. I'm not going to go through all of these searches today. These are just searches that I use for the purposes. If you need to, you can take a picture of it. All right. These are all searches that I use for the purposes of finding my I'm not in Senseonics, John. This is for the purposes of finding my speculative plays. Here's a search called Cheap Stocks Hot Stock Alert. All right, let's go see if I like any of these from a speculative player for you. Gary says, what's your thoughts on SE? If I have time at the end, Gary, I'll see if I can go look at it. All right. Based on all of the parameters I have set up, only one stock hit, RCAT. Well, let me see if I like it as a speculative play for you. Let's go view the stock graph. I put on a 3-month graph. No, I don't like this as a speculative play. It met the criteria of my search, but I like that the 3 and the 8 just went up. But look at that big wick at the top. Look at the falling earnings. What else don't I like about it? Where's RV at? RV is above 1. RT is above 1. But I'm not feeling this. Earnings growth looks good. I'm not feeling this with that big move. That doesn't feel good to me. All right, so I won't use that as a speculative. What else do I have? I've got a cheap 3-8 cross. All right. Man, you guys are getting into the head of Glenn today. Let's go look at the top 10 stocks. We'll do that. Look at the top 10 stocks. All right, here's the search criteria. And again, for all of you who are subscribers to the VectorVest software, you need to just take pictures of these stocks. So I highlight them all, right click. Let's see if I like any of these. Let's put this on a 3-month graph. Do I like this? I like that the stock could be getting ready to move up. I like that the relative timing is getting better. I like that the relative value is above the value of 1. Positive earnings, growing it at 32% a year. This could be a possibility. All right, let's go to this one. AEI, what do I like about this? Rising earnings per share. Earnings growth, though, is at -6. Earnings per share is negative as well. I like the price action now, but I don't like the fundamentals behind the stock. I do like that RT is above 1. I like to have you in companies, even from a speculative perspective, that is making money. FTech, I do like the open graph on this today. Not making money. No. Oof. PLX would have looked good. But look at that, earnings per share going down as the stock's price is going up. That's normally a red flag. What else? PME? No. Viat. Oh, look at that. Look at that there. All right, so I like the bounce. I like the nice open candle, the 3-8 crossing. I like the rising earnings. I like RT above 1. I like that with today's activity, the volume is a little higher than the prior day. This might be a possibility. This might be a possibility. Can these searches be used for end-of-day data? RSXN, yeah, I'm looking at end of day on their graphs. I'm looking at end of day on their graphs, but I'm looking at them intraday. But when I'm making my decision on which stocks I like for you from the perspective of speculative plays, I'm looking at an end of day graph. I'm looking at an end of day graph. What else? Ooh, GNCA earnings per share is higher than it was 3 months ago, but it's negative. They are growing at a clip of 18%. Big open candle today, probably news driven. No, I don't like earnings. I don't like earnings. Ooh, but I do like this. And it's below. Nope, not feeling that one. Ooh, earnings per share is negative. Earnings growth is negative, but it's getting better. RT just went above 138, just crossed. Maybe. All right, so that's the process. And I've got a lot of different searches here to help me from this perspective. I've got a lot of searches to get me to the point of what stocks. How about this one? Cheap long-term 3.8 cross. Let's go peep this out real quick. Only 2 stocks show up. Right click, view the stock graph. Put this on 3-month graph. I like the 3.8 cross, but closed candle is pulling back. Earnings is still lower than it was 3 months ago. Ooh, CPG, love the earnings per share, positive and growing. I'd like to see it take out that level of $7.86. Overall, bottom left, top right. All right, so for the standpoint of what the process is that I take myself through to find you these stocks, that's a little bit of what I do. All right, and I do apologize that I did not have one for you today. I guess Joey forgot to tell me to do it. So it's all Joey's fault. Everything is Joey's fault. All right, so at least I didn't find anything in a short amount of time. That's why it takes me time. It takes me time to put this watch list together. So when I find you the speculative plays, I put some work in it to make sure that I like the stock before I put it out there for you. All right, so hey, did you guys like that? Yes or no? Type of either a yes or a no. Did you like that? That was on the fly. Just a little glimpse into some of the work that goes into the stream for you. All right. The speculative plays are just not, hey, go by. I look at a lot of different things, a lot of different searches to help you to do that. So let me know. Was that at least interesting to see what some of the goings on are? All right. So, all right, good. I just want to know. Again, I try to make it well worth your time to spend some time with us. I try to make it well worth your time to spend some time with us. You know, your time is valuable, so I want to make it worth your time. Today's big movers. All right, stocks that are going up. Wow, these are all, let's stream these. Oh, I went back in time. All right, today's big movers. My top 10 stocks moving up today. ATER. We looked at ATER and Jumaya. We looked at Twitter. Let's look at some of the ones that we didn't talk about today. We did look at RC. We looked at our hat. So look at these. Nice big movers today, right? Nice big movers today. Let's go see if this is worth it for us to get into any. You know me, I don't like to chase a stock. Look at that move. Look at that stock's price moving above that level of 220 and moving higher on good volume. If you're not in this one, I'd look at 5 cents higher than the higher right now. I'd look at 5 cents higher than the high right now. All right, that's a good intraday play right now. Let the stock come to you, though. The 3 and the 8 just went bullish. I like it. Ooh, and I like it. Can you see that stock's moving higher and higher? Ooh, and I like it. All right, let's go take off. I like the way you comb your hair, and I like those stylish clothes you wear. Vaughn on Facebook says, why don't you do a 1-minute intro so we can see what Joey looks like? We only hear his voice because Joey doesn't want to get on camera. That's just Joey. Joey, that's a Joey thing. That's strictly a Joey thing. I can't make him. So
FBI is looking for me. So.
And he says the FBI is looking for him. Oh, Lord. I'm working with some kind of FBI looking like I'm going to put crickets to that. Yes. NLTX, nice big mover today, moving up now. Again, I look at 5 cents higher than the high. GRCL, nice mover today as well, leveling out. I'd look at 5 cents higher than the high. RCAT looks like the biggest puller backer of all 4 stocks. All right, this is the biggest puller backer. That's a Glenism as well of all of the stocks. And Leon nicely went up, but moving sideways as well. Only one I like right now intraday is NLTX. And again, I am looking at intraday 5-minute bars, but I'd look at 5 cents. Look at that. It looks like trading stopped on it. Looked like trading stop on it. Glenn, take us from $2 stocks to thousands of dollars for our Bahama vacations. Let me tell you something. You know what I'm going to do for you? This is all done on the fly as well. Tell you what I'm finna do for you. Remember, I'm going to go to that cheap long-term. I don't have a lot of stocks here. Let me do something. I'm going to do something. I'm going to put myself out there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Tell you what I'm finna do. I'm going to make a quick folio. These are what I call cheap stocks in rising business sectors, less than $10. Okay? I'm going to call this...
Bahamas trip.
All right, fine. We're going to call it Bahamas trip. Let's go see if we can make some money for the Bahamas trip. Y'all down for that? How much money do I need to put into this? Anybody? Give me a number. Give me a number, both on either Facebook or YouTube. Give me a number. Give me a good number. Give me a good number. A good, reasonable number as far as how much we need to put in this portfolio. Come on now. If not, I'm going to put in a number like, I'm going to put in $10,000. You guys are moving slow. All right. No commission, no margin. Going to go long. Edit the stops. Since this is more aggressive, I'm going to go profit locker 28.7. 28.7. All right, we're going to make this an aggressive portfolio to make us some money. We're going to, no, $200, Shay, that's too little. All right. And let's open the portfolio. I'm going to sort of kind of automate it, edit, customize the trading system. I'm going to use market timing. I'm going to use the primary wave. Don't ask a lot of questions right now, folks. I'm setting, you want to go on a Bahamas trip? Let's see if we can make us some money for a Bahamas trip. All right, profit locker, 28.7, 28.7. More settings, down, go to cash. All right. What am I missing? Select, search. Oh, what was the search? YouTube. I forgot what the search was. What was the search, Joey?
Business sectors under $10.
There it is. Cheap stocks, rising business sectors, less than $10. All right.
A lot of people probably never seen that before.
I know. Apply to existing positions. I flew through it, and I'm going to do one other Bahamas trip, and I'm going to use I'm going to introduce you to something. I'm going to use the viewers tab. You want a Bahamas trip? Let's go get one. Trading systems viewer. We're going to go with Chappell's Champs. This is automated. Let's go paper trade and portfolios. Yep. Start with a new portfolio. Bahamas trip 2. This one's fully automated and still put $10,000 for trade, none. Click on OK. All right, it's going to be up to you guys now to remember every so often to take a look at these portfolios, Bahamas trip and Bahamas trip 2. Let's go see if I can make us some money from the Bahamas trip. You guys good with that? Now that means you got to come back every week and watch. I just put it to you. Now you got to come back every week and watch. All right? I'm going to look for it on the VV tool. Shay, it's not going to be on the VV tool. I just created it here. In order for you to see what these portfolios are doing, you got to come here every week and watch. And I'm not going to show it to the end of the presentation. All right. I just got that. I just locked you in. I just locked you in, at least coming to watch to the end of the presentation. All right. So at the end of the presentation, do not ask me throughout the presentation in the coming weeks and say, hey, what's the portfolio doing? Hey, I'm not going to show you to the end. I am not going to show you to the end. Let's go see if we can make some money for Bahamas trip. All right. There you go. I think I'm done. Am I done, Joey? Watch list viewer. Oh, you took it. Stop taking my thing. Today's big movers. I think I'm done. Oh, I created a watch list. My alternative stocks watch list. Write some of these stocks down. Take a picture. These are stocks in the uranium space as well in the LNG space. However you feel about how you feel, that's up to you. But I want you to keep your eyes. Let me put this. I want you to keep your eyes on other opportunities outside of oil, because I think that they're going to present themselves as a way for you to still make money. Do you use margin in these accounts, Ron? No, I do not. In these accounts, I'm not using margin. So these are straight up $10,000 portfolios. I've got my stops in place, the whole 9 yards. The Chapels one will go short when the market goes down. The one that I created goes to cash when the markets go down. We got 2 portfolios to look if we can make some money for the Bahamas using the VectorVest software. That's all that was all about. That's all that was all about today. All right. And I'm never afraid to do stuff on the fly. The software's got a lot of flexibility, and I'm not afraid to showcase any of that flexibility if given the chance. All right, if given the chance. And there we go. All right. How many of you felt that extra bonus was kind of cool today? That wasn't on the agenda. How many of you felt that extra bonus? 2 things. How I go to search for stocks for your speculative plays, and on the fly built 2 portfolios to see if we can make money for the Bahamas for you guys. All right, where can I find a tutorial on how to build a search? Job. If you need to, give our product support staff a call. Or better yet, go to the training tab. Joey, put me back into... Yeah, go to the training tab, navigation series. I've done a navigation series that takes you through each and every tab in the software. All right, you want to know how to build a search? How about I've got unit search part 1, part 2, and part 3. You want to learn how to build a search? There you go. There you go. I've got that for you. All right. I don't have to do anything. All right, folks, if you liked what you saw today, hit the like button. Hit the like button. On Facebook, hit the stars and the hearts and all that stuff. I'm so glad we had this time. Ray says, I'm so glad we had this time together. Maria says, I will definitely come back to see the results of those 2 Bahamas trips. Maria, as I mentioned, those portfolios will not be shown until the end of the presentation. Not until the end of the presentation. All right? So I'm putting that out there before everybody asks me. And if you spam it, Joey will put you in timeout. All right. Keaton says, very nice. It helps seeing your methodology. And again, there's a lot in the VectorVest system. And when I get an idea, an opportunity to showcase some of it, man, I will. Vaughn says, nice, I appreciate it. Shay says, you the man. Glenn Ray says, I'm so glad we had this time together. And again, Shay says, I'm going to look for it in the VectorVest tool again. I don't have it in the VectorVest tool. You have to be here on either midday market. And again, I think on Wednesday, we got a surprise for you. Will you have Wednesday mid-market? Yes, we will. We will have, and again, I have a surprise for you. All right. So, folks, how many likes did we get today, Joey? Let me know. We got 88. We got 98. Let's you know me. I always like to see us get to 100 if we can. If we don't, that's fine. I want to say thank you to the people who subscribed to the channel today. We got 11 reactions on the Facebook channel. Thank you.
Likes.
There's 11 likes.
4 shares.
We had 4 shares on Facebook. Thank you for that, Facebook folks. Thank you for that. And Jay says the navigation series rocks. Going to pack my bag. Lee is ready. Lee, don't pack your bags yet. We got to make sure it starts making some money first. All right. So with that, folks, thank you for being here. I look forward to seeing you on Wednesday. Adios, arrivederci, ciao, au revoir, sayonara, aloha to all my peeps in Hawaii. Bom dia, salam, shalom, namaste, yasu. Until the next time, folks, see ya.